everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moving People to Action. This is a social media platform that focus on discussions that will lead to solutions, therefore moving people to action. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We have a great panelist that's going to be joining us later on. And please send, this is live on Facebook. Go ahead and share the link so we can bring and build a community tonight to have a meaningful conversation about brain drain in America. And you can see on the screen, my man, Gerald Kuhn. He is, thank you for graciously agreeing to be our guest facilitator, host tonight. Gerald is with the city of Omaha. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman, but also serves as the assistant director of the human relations department for the city of Omaha, this place we call the Good Life. Man, welcome to Moving People to Action.
Thank you, my man, brother TC, my big brother, my mentor, my guy. What's going on with you today, man? I appreciate you inviting me.
Right on, man. And I tell you, this is, I normally would facilitate the town hall meeting, but I thought it would be fitting, man, to get a younger blood, get some younger blood in there. You know, although I still got my youth on.
Yeah, you look younger than I do, man. I still got this gray right here that's coming in.
I'm just hiding it right now, man. But I'm gonna do the Russell Simmons tonight. This is about a meaningful conversation about young people. How do we keep our talent? Right. And every city, I know your contributor, Brother Raheem, going to talk about it, but some cities are getting it right. But I'm going to go ahead and exit and let you just kind of run this town hall meeting in your way. And you have some wonderful, capable guests. And man, I'm looking forward to just a meaningful conversation. With that, hey, I'll see you at the end. I'll come back for a little wrap up.
I'll bring you back up at the end.
Right on.
All right. Well, good evening, people. I thank you for joining in this powerful discussion. We have some amazing, talented, intelligent people who are going to come, and we're just going to talk about brain drain. Now, when we talk about somebody says brain drain, that's really like the slang term for human capital flight. Well, that's what it's called in corporate world, is human capital flight. And how do we get that? And what that is when people feel like they are not, they can no longer prosper. They've reached their limit with their current living situation, and they need to exit. And typically that happens with younger professionals. And every city has their own issues, and Omaha is no different. But let me just give the Webster's definition of brain drain. Brain drain, like I said, is a slang term indicating the migration of individuals. A brain drain can result from turmoil within a particular area, the existence of favorable professional opportunities, leaving the area or going to a different area, or the desire for people to seek a higher standard of living. And I think that really occurs in every city, right? I have had the opportunity to play professional basketball abroad in Lisbon, Portugal. I've had the opportunity to live in Detroit, Michigan, a little bit out in LA, in Hermosa Beach area, lived in Kentucky for a while, Cincinnati for a little bit, in Hampton, Virginia, where I played basketball at college ball. And what I've noticed is every city has their own issues. I'm reminded of a Drake song the Drake, like in the emotionless song, he says that people get on or on social media and post pictures and just to make their situation seem better than what it is. And that's what it is. It's just social media. We all do it. We go on vacation. We see what we have done, and then we post it, and then other people see that, and they feel like, oh man, Tanya got it going on. She just went to Houston, and it just looks like an amazing vibe there, and it may be for that time being in Omaha during the College World Series, during when we have NCAA. When we have the NCAA tournament coming into town, when we have big events that happen in the city, Omaha looks great, and we're just like, oh, okay, this is great for this time being, but then it goes back to the regular. And what I'm trying to get you guys to see is that, one, let's address the issue on why people leave, which is they feel like they aren't appreciated in their area. They feel like there's nothing to do here. Let's address the elephant in the room. We all can get a great job from 9 to 5, but what do we do as young professionals from the time of 5 to 9? And there's really nothing here. People say there's nothing here, but there's things everywhere. So it's all on what you are looking for and what you want to accomplish. What's another reason for wanting to leave? Better job, better education, or better educational system. Just to see people of color represented in all facets of the city. That is a reason to, if you feel like there's racial inequities in a city, that's a reason to leave. But so we all have these huge reasons on why people for this issue. You know, we have our kids that go off to college and they experience life and then they don't come back. I went off to college, did my thing, and then I came back to help my city, to contribute to my community, to make my community where I grew up better than when I left. And then we have people who get recruited from the outside, from other cities, to come get big jobs within Omaha, and they're only here for 2, 3, 4 years, and then they say, "Hey, I'm out." So let's briefly address those issues and those concerns. But let's say solution based and see what we can do to keep people here. And I have my my co-host, my Mr. Raheem Sanders. What's up, Raheem?
How you doing?
Add in and come in and join and tell me what you think about brain drain, man. And then we're gonna move to see how we can get the panelists on and get the lowdown from the professional.
All right. Well, yeah, brain drain. Let me just try to break it down in the most simplest forms. You know, when you think of, like you mentioned, brain drain, people, start off from one place and they end up going somewhere else. But when you really think about, what type of impact that has, is actually, a really big problem. So like the places that are experiencing the worst impact on brain drain are rural towns and our post-industrial states. A lot of the people that grow up there, they go and they get education there, and they're looking for some opportunity, so they go and they move to these big booming cities. And then what happens is that all of that talent leaves, all of those opportunities, all of those professionals with all the skills, they leave. And then what then happens is, because there's no professionals to fill the jobs leave. So it has a really big economic impact on all of those rural cities and post-industrial states, like we mentioned. But in addition, what we've seen, especially in this past election, when those great migrations happen, a lot of people populate in one particular state, and now that has some impact on, the votings and the voting strength of different populations. So then you see different districts being rearranged, and, there's different, I guess, changes in terms of, the weight of the vote in particular states. So just looking at it overall, United States has a big problem with brain drain, because a lot of our, real estate is in rural and post-industrial places, So that's overall. But when you look at Nebraska, just try to break it down, Nebraska has grown maybe about 23% in the last 30 years. All right. So in the last, at least 10 years, we've only seen maybe a 2% growth. And one of Nebraska's biggest problems is companies, they don't have access to skilled and sufficient and intelligent, educated, talented workers to meet the demand for a lot of these high paying jobs. And
Right.
so what, ends up happening, students, they graduate from universities, and we got a lot of universities in Nebraska, okay? People smart here in Nebraska. So they graduate from these universities, and then what happens is they end up leaving town for a better opportunity. Why would they stay here when they're getting paid, 50, 60, maybe 70, $80,000 when they can go to Houston? That's 120 grand. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, that's a hard choice for a lot of our young professionals to make. So after school, a lot of these guys leave. And I think by the numbers, 89% of all degree holders in Nebraska, they're composed of, white people, right? And then the people who aren't white, all right, it has a really big impact on them in terms of Asians. Every, 49 Asians per 1,000 end up leaving Nebraska. And these are, again, these degree holding people. African Americans, 14 out of every 1,000 that get a degree, they end up leaving Nebraska. And so we look at all of these things that's, driving people to, move to other places so that they can seek opportunity with the skills that they have, which in turns has a negative impact on, the people of Nebraska. And again, it goes back to, entrepreneurship and business and innovation. A lot of people want to be entrepreneurs. A lot of businesses want to come here. They think it's going to be thriving, but then they find out there's not that much opportunity where they can go to Atlanta or they can go to Chicago and they can have better odds. So a lot of entrepreneurs are leaving the state as well, which again has a major impact on the economy. A lot of people leave. You're not going to be able to tax as many people as before. So now you're losing a whole lot of money. And again, not along with the money, you're losing that skilled talent, all the professionals, the doctors, the lawyers, the accountants, all the corporate businesses, all the tech and innovation, all of it is gone. So when you look at brain drain, it's actually a really big problem, especially if the focus is to build a thriving city. And when you look at what makes a thriving city, finance and commerce, culture and demographics, urban economics, employment, change and development, the impact that brain drain has on there, like finance and economics. If everybody leaving or losing out on taxes, I think in Nebraska, $72 million is lost of taxable income due to brain drain, right? You look at culture and demographics. Of all the full-time workers, and I think there's a little bit over 700,000 full-time workers here in Nebraska, a little bit over 100,000 of those people are people of color, all right, working full-time jobs, all right? And these jobs pay between $40,000 and $60,000 on average, all right? So when you look at these people of color, statistically, only about 25 to maybe 30,000 of those people of color, all right, are being paid appropriately. And that's only maybe like 40%, maybe less than 40%. So that means 60% of these degree holding people of color, highly skilled people, they're being underpaid. So when you look at all of these attractive cities, it's a no-brainer. I can go somewhere else, make a whole lot more money, use my degree instead of staying here. Urban economics, everybody leaves. Then, you don't have talented people to, work and strategize and build your infrastructure. You're not investing into your community. So now our communities, especially the ones impacted by brain drain, are all dilapidated. You know what I'm saying? And again, it goes back down to jobs and employment. So all the talent leaves. There's no talent to fill the high paying jobs. Now all the jobs is leaving. What does that mean for the people who are still here, those young professionals who are crazy enough to even stay? Brain drain has a major impact on everyone. So those are the facts, my good man.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Raheem, you just killed it. And if you guys did not grasp that and it did not bring you some awareness, you weren't listening. Appreciate that, good brother.
You're welcome, good man.
Take a little break, a little pause for the cause, and then we're going to come back with our lovely panelists and see if they can help us move mission, moving people to action, so we can get this mission going, and then we can move them to some action. All right. Well, thank you. We'll take a brief pause for the calls. Be back in 5.